Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rate the Record podcast, episode 11, Parallel Numbers Edition. As if, I want to make some stupid excuse just to call it an episode an edition.
I figure 11, double thumbs up. That's it. No double thumbs up at all coming up, but just for 11.
2 finger guns equals 11.
Oh, hell yeah.
There you go, that works. Your finger gunning hosts today are Kris and
Savannah.
That came out a little weird, didn't it?
It did. It really did.
But that's okay. We're not exactly all there if you've been watching this show before. I mean, we're just a little all over the place, I guess. But anyways, if you are listening right now on YouTube, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons, leave comments and all that nice stuff, building that community as always. So, and we want you to be part of it. And of course, the audio realm. We got, I already forget everything already, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, CastBox, Bandcamp, and still working on Stitcher. We're there, but we're also not there. I don't know. Enjoy 3 episodes for the time being.
We literally have 1 foot in the door because they only have, half or less than half of the episode so far?
Less than half. As of today, if it's nothing's in there, then I think it's like a quarter or less.
Oh, dang. So nothing's changed, eh? Just the 3?
Yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of luck on that end, but we're trying. You can still subscribe to Stitcher and let them know you want to hear Rate the Record podcast. That's great.
Yeah. Flood their inbox.
But obviously, if you're going to do something like that, you've been here long enough to know who we are. So if you're returning to the podcast, welcome back. Great to have you here. You know, we love having you here, and we love talking to you in the comments of our videos and all of that stuff. But if you are new here, you don't know what we do, well, first off, hello, welcome to the podcast, enjoy your stay, we hope you have a lot of fun today, and if you don't know what we do, each week Savannah and I will take a record, or an album, I guess, whatever you want to call it, to be honest, it'll either be completely random, like a special occasion, anniversary type thing, viewer's choice, which we have done in the past, so yes, we do them. We'll discuss that album at length. We will rank the songs and then we rate the record.
Woo!
Oh, no clever quips this time. That's fine.
No, those are coming up. Just wait.
I hope you're actually brainstorming some, just jotting them down just to, boom, get me, by surprise.
And the notebook is just full of shocked Pikachu faces, and then I scratch it up going, no, I've used that again. And then another shocked face. I'm like, no, I've used that before.
The Diary of a Mad Woman right there. So, today's episode, the Parallel Number Edition, episode 11. It's just, I don't want to call it that. That's so dumb. Anyways, it's my choice this week. Episode 9 was a fan request. Episode 10, we did a randomizer. So, I get to choose this week, and this week is all about Queens of the Stone Age and their 2000 album, Rated R, and in parentheses, to everyone, everywhere, all the time. I wish they used that extended title more often, but you can see it if you zoom into the actual album cover.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is before they really kind of broke out into the mainstream because, obviously Songs for the Deaf was a huge album for them.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that they had any albums before that because I had never heard of them before, so this is pretty cool.
Oh, their self-titled album is probably one of my favorites. It's like pure cult classic stoner rock album with my favorite Queens of the Stone Age song of all time. Spoiler alert, if we ever do the album, You Can't Quit Me Baby is literally my number 1 pick for that album.
Interesting. I'll have to take a look at that.
I hope someone actually remembers that if we ever actually do that album.
Yeah. But and then they just comment, big fat phony. You're just a big fat phony.
Not if I put it at number 1, which I promise you it will be. So you take that back immediately. But you know what? We're getting ahead of ourselves because before we talk about albums on this show, what we like to do every time before we start is read this little disclaimer just to make sure we're all on the same page. No one's being a dick about things. We're all being cool. Even if you like or hate the album, we're not going to rip on other people. Respecting each other's decisions and opinions, being cool about things. So, yep. Savannah, what is that disclaimer that we like to read all the time?
I clear my throat as if I have to. It's all an act. The following thoughts and opinions we're going to discuss on Rate the Record regarding this album are strictly of our own personal interests. We are not professional music reviewers. We are simply 2 friends having fun, discussing, and listening to music. We encourage respectful discussion and friendly banter of each episode, but we do not condone and will not tolerate bullying or belligerence based on the opinions of ourselves or others. This podcast is a casual and for fun project, and you are welcome to take what we say regarding the albums we rate with a grain of salt and pepper if you want. A little bit of seasoning.
Whatever kind of like spice, seasoning, whatever you got. Whatever's really tiny.
Grain of paprika or something. Whatever you want, just don't be a jerk, please.
Yeah, even if you got a sweet tooth, a little grain of sugar.
Ooh, yummy.
That's not me though, I'm diabetic. Fact of the day. Anyways.
I laugh the way you say it, not because you are.
Oh, it's okay. Like my friends make diabetic jokes towards me. They've threatened to kill me with bags of sugar, so it's all good. I have a good sense of humor about it. But yes, as previously mentioned, today we are doing Rated R by Queens of the Stone Age, released in 2000. And in case you didn't know about the band or the album, here's a little tidbit for you. Queens of the Stone Age is a hard rock / stoner rock band out of Palm Desert, California. The band started in 1996 by founding member Josh Homme, formerly of the stoner rock band Caius. The band has been seen a parade of musicians come and go from the lineup since the band's inception, including Mark Lanegan of the Screaming Trees and even Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters. Today's album, Rated R, was released in June 2000 and only featured Josh Homme as lead singer and multi-instrumentalist, as well as bassist and vocalist Nick Oliveri, who's gone through some legal trouble we might have to discuss in a minute just for some of his songs that he wrote specifically. As the only real band members at the time of recording this album. The album was recorded at Sound City Studios in Van Nuys, I guess, Nuys, California, and was released under Interscope Records. Multiple musicians, including Mark Lanegan, Nick Lucero, Wendy Ray Fowler, and Barrett Martin, and also many more contributed to the album as well. The singles of the album are The Lost Art of Keeping a Secret and Feel Good Hit of the Summer, though the latter of those two was mainly a single in Australia only, even though it did kind of gain popularity here in North America. The album remains a cult classic, as their true breakout didn't come until their follow-up, Songs for the Deaf, in 2002. That is a word sandwich right there. But it's all out of the way now. But I guess I kind of want to preface that too, because I did mention Nick Oliveri. So to those of you who don't know, he was formerly the bass player of Queens of the Stone Age for quite a long time. There were certain legal troubles he got into that weren't as bad as the later one. He was arrested in Brazil for performing naked on stage, which apparently is illegal there. He got into an altercation with a band in the UK, him and Josh Homme both, but they were released without any charges against them, so that was dropped. Lord. The big one, I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head because I don't have it on my screen here in front of me. 2011, there was a suspected domestic assault case where a police SWAT team had to be involved because he kind of barricaded himself in the house. Eventually, 2 hours after the SWAT team got there, he let his girlfriend out of the house. And then 2 hours after that, the SWAT team entered the home where he was arrested. They found drugs and a loaded rifle. Just a big problem right there. So obviously he's not part of the band anymore.
Yikes.
Again, the domestic violence thing, I couldn't find whether or not that was an actual thing. It's a suspected or alleged or something like that, so I don't want to say that it was. And I only bring this up because Nick himself wrote some songs on the album, and some of the themes of it you can kind of probably pick up on, especially with the troubles that kind of come through. So, even if we speak highly of any of his songs, just know that we do not condone that kind of shit. Yeah, but the songs are here. They're on the album. It is what it is. So we're just gonna go with that.
That was something I didn't know, and I don't know what songs he wrote. So now I'm just looking through my notes, going, I wonder if they're the ones. So
I wonder if I should tell you which ones, or just leave it. I think you can probably guess. When
they come up, I have an idea.
When it sounds like a different singer, probably. Except one song.
That was my idea.
One song is Mark Lanegan, though, so don't get it too mixed up. We'll get to that when we get.
Well, I'm already mixed up. We might as well start.
We might as well, huh? And actually, we can do that right now. The very first song on this album, the Australian single, Feel Good Hit of the Summer. What do you got?
It was okay. The beginning of it definitely reminds me of Cherub Rock by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, okay.
They both lead an album, so that's the first thing I thought of, the sort of strum patterns, kind of the same. It did take me halfway through the song to realize what the hell he was saying, because I know you'd kind of, hey, they have a song and these are the lyrics. So I'm like, oh, maybe that's part of the song. That's all of the song. It
is the song.
The whole song. I see why the title is what it is, the feel good hit. I kind of assume that's the,
it's the ultimate self-destructive party.
Yeah, and it was okay.
You see, the song is super repetitive, but I think it's a lot of fun in the way it presents itself. Mm-hmm. So it's not just repetitive and annoying. It's like, okay, get to something else. Like, I think one of the greatest things about the song is the build-up itself. Mm-hmm. Because, like, the verses are kind of like, there's like an intensity there, but it's like it's clearly building up to something. Just like the guitars gently chugging and the drums like dun 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 dun. And then yes, the lyrics, I can quote every lyric because there's only like a handful. Nicotine, Valium, Vicodin, marijuana, ecstasy, alcohol, and then the chorus, cocaine. Those are literally every single lyric in the song. But yeah, the verse repeats a lot, but like the build-up in it is great. It sounds fantastic. And then the buildup of the chorus, especially when the cocaine part comes in and it gets really heavy, that part's a lot of fun. And I mean, like, the end is a lot of fun too, where the verses kind of pick up with the same intensity as the chorus. I don't know. It's a short song. I mean, yeah, I get why people would probably be annoyed by it, but I thought it was a lot of fun.
I definitely do agree with the end of line in the chorus, because it kind of feels like I don't know how to describe it other than kind of like a show tune where like that's the big like ta-da part of it, and that I kind of like. But yeah, it did seem a little repetitive, and for the intro to the album I'm like, oh god, what is the rest of the album gonna be like? So it definitely left a lot to wonder about what was gonna follow.
Yeah. And I guess it's interesting to think because of like this isn't their like breakthrough album, so they were still kind of cult status at this point. Mm-hmm. Like you've either heard of Caius, you maybe heard their first album, or if you didn't know who they were at this point, like this is your introduction to them. Although to be fair, the next song, which we'll get into in just a second, was like people's main introduction, because I don't think a lot of people remember too much about the self-titled album. Like there were singles, but not really played on the radio, no videos. So I mean, at least this particular album had a music video, and it was. We'll just transition to it now. The Lost Art of Keeping a Secret. Mm-hmm. It does have a video. I don't remember it at all, and I'm surprised I didn't watch it in preparation for this. But I saw it on Much Loud like a long time ago, back when that was a channel.
Yeah.
Like one of those paid extra channels.
I used to. Side note: I used to watch that all the time, and that's how I found about like half of the one-hit wonders or whatever that I like from like 2002 to 2006.
Yeah.
So, but as an aside, I've definitely heard this song before. As soon as I heard it, I was like, this sounds familiar, but not familiar enough that I knew what was coming up. But it sounded nice.
You might have actually heard it on Much Loud. If you had it on all the time. Like this was one of those songs that was on rotation for a bit, especially in its like earlier inceptions.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to watch the video for that. So
yeah, I don't remember a lot about it.
Well, you tell me yours.
I thought this was like a really interesting idea for a come down from the last track, because there was a lot of intensity in the first one to like kind of boom you into the album, but then it kind of brings it down with this one. Like it still has like heavy points and like kind of faster paced points, but just that the introduction of the song alone and like the introduction of the vibes, not like the chill vibes, but like the actual instrument vibes.
Yeah.
They kind of like people would think it's a xylophone, but anyways, it was really cool to have that kind of feeling to be pulled back, but like I still liked what was happening. And yeah, the vibes sound very like there was like a mysterious retro feel to it, and I actually kind of like that. And like the soft vocals on top of that, while the drums and the guitars are still bouncing and chugging a little bit, like that was a lot of fun. Yeah, so like I don't know, something about the transition from very intense to a little mysterious chill. Like I don't know, I like it.
I definitely will listen to this song again, and it being a single, like maybe I'm just notorious for ranking, singles higher, especially when I don't even know that they're singles, because I listen to it going, I could definitely see this being played on the radio. And it seems like a simply written song, but I like it. It was nice. And yeah, I don't know. There was not much about it that I didn't enjoy. And I had to listen to it 2 or 3 times because, again, the first time I just let it play through and forgot to write anything down because I was too busy listening to it.
Now that is one of your traits. Or I've heard, I can't remember songs off the top of my head, but you've said in the past, like, I had to listen to this like 5 times before I realized, oh shit, I have to write things down.
I'm like, oh, I really like this. And then by the time I'm like, oh, I got to write something down, I'm like, oh God, it's the next song already.
Well, that's shit. The best part though, because then you discover this new song that you like, and so like, yeah, you listen to it a few times to enjoy it, and then you can finally get to work. But the idea is, enjoy the song first if you like it that much. Jeez.
Yeah.
No big deal, except for the part where I'll pick on you all the time when it comes to that kind of stuff.
That's okay. 11 episodes in, and what am I, surprised? Not at all.
I would certainly hope not. The choruses are great too. Like the verses are like kind of like chill and everything like that, but then it's like the perfect amount of heavy going to the verse. It's not crazy heavy or loud, but like the guitar, like I think Queens of the Stone Age plays naturally in like a C standard tuning, and that just means like, you know, E standard's your regular stuff, C standard's like the really low tone stuff. So you'll notice the guitars sound like really low, and that's what it is. I don't know. It's the perfect amount of heavy, perfect distortion for it, and also Josh Homme's falsettos are like fantastic. I love them so much.
Yeah,
he's been doing that his entire career, and he has failed to. He's not failed to impress me yet. Like it's always fantastic. But yeah, and also just towards the last chorus too, you'll notice these like the baritone sax in the background. Like you hear this this blaring horn coming in, going with like the melody and like the bass and everything like that. I thought that was a really great touch. So shout out to, I wrote down his name, Barrett Martin, who plays that sax. Yeah, it was a really good emphasis on the final chorus of the song. It reminded me a lot, like it gave me the feelings of The Reason They Hate Me by Daughters.
Yes.
How the last chorus, just as it was ending, it got immensely heavier in like the last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's it kind of reminded me of that a bit. So
okay,
good job.
To be honest, I don't even think I noticed any horns in it.
Well, to be fair, between me and you, I've heard this album like thousands of times, and this is like your first official listen.
Yeah.
So I've had years to like, oh, that's a thing. I'm gonna point out like layer stuff as we go as well. So
yeah,
if you listen through again, maybe you'll notice some of this stuff.
Well, there are some times that I will listen to a couple songs after you've said certain things, and I'm like, oh shit, he's right. Oh shit, I never heard that before.
I'm sorry, you call me a liar? Or do you assume I'm a liar?
No, I just need to fact check, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the best part is you can fact check and then come back and be like, you're right. I don't lie. I mean, maybe I do, maybe I don't, maybe I do. A lot of mystery on this show. But yeah.
What is happening?
What happens on every episode? I usually say some weird shit that gets us both shaking our heads.
That's why I just dip out of frame. See ya.
And I'm still talking and just like going on. And people are for some reason still tuned in.
Hey, you know.
Hey, you wanted to do this show with me, so now you know what you've signed up for. To the audio listener, she nodded her head before crying, so she agrees.
Yes, I agree. I am crazy.
Okay, so that's the lost art of keeping a secret. I'm sure.
Yes.
I guess you're done talking about it.
I am, and I'm ready to talk about Leg of Lamb.
Leg of Lamb. Then go ahead and talk about it.
Strange title. If the phrase wasn't in the song, I would be highly confused on why it was called this. But, okay, so I'm not sort of good at picking out, I guess, sort of musical terminology or whatever. I don't really know what like a minor, major, anything sounds like.
Yeah.
But I feel like when things kind of sound creepy, I think that's kind of minor notes or scales or chords or whatever. Could be right or wrong. That's kind of how I felt with this song, where it's like I don't remember what part it was, because sometimes these songs just sort of float away until I listen to them again. But I just put minor scale ? So I'm not sure if that's what the term I'm looking for is, but yeah. And the guitar seems like neatfully chaotic. I don't know how else to describe that.
Are you talking about the main riff or like the solo or the solo-ish thing kind of going over top of it?
I think so, yeah. I'd have to listen to it again. Unfortunately, this one in particular went in my ears and just blew away. So
yeah, that's fine. Actually, on that note too, I could probably transition nicely off that, because this song does have like a fun enough sounding composition. Like, it is like really weird.
Yeah.
It sounds intentionally messy, which you can usually tell if a band or a production team of any sort is kind of going for like an intentionally like raw or messy sound.
Yeah.
Because like there are just garage bands who sound like shit versus bands who are like doing it on purpose for a reason, which I don't know what the reason was for this one, but it still sounds fine.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on music theory, so I can't tell you about major. Like, I can tell you major, minor, but this one I couldn't point out.
Yeah.
It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on all at once. I still really had a hard time picking up on this one, just because, like, I don't know, there's really not a lot going on. I mean, technically, like, with song layers in this one, there's a lot of layers in this song.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot going on, but at the same time, it just doesn't do much for me, so it doesn't pick up on me all that well.
Yeah.
It's just repetitive. It doesn't really pick up or really get exciting. Like, it just maintains one feeling all the way through. Like, I don't know. It didn't do a lot for me.
Yeah. I liked it, but I think I was going off of like the vocal melody in the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
I found that sort of easy to digest, I guess, very kind of radio friendly sounding. And the chorus has some, I think, distorted vocals as like the background harmony, or sort of in the background, and I kind of like that. I don't know what it was, but
is it like the falsetto in the chorus?
No, it was kind of like a distorted guitar, but it kind of sounded like sort of vocal noises. I'm not really sure. It was deep. It was deep behind everything.
Yeah, there was some talking points in the song and everything like that. Like, you hear this one deeper voice kind of break through in the verse and the chorus every once in a while.
Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head, because to be honest, like, I often skip the song when I listen to this album.
Oh.
Like, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's just, it doesn't keep me enough to want to listen, and there's nothing about it that keeps me wanting to go back.
Yeah.
But listening to it for this, like, obviously I went through it again, gave it a second chance, and it still just wasn't all that great for me.
Yeah. I like the chorus.
Okay.
I stand by that part.
I just can't decide whether or not, like, it was okay to put this song so soon on the album, or should have waited till later. I can't decide which one would have been better, especially because of how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But at least it's short enough. It was under 3 minutes. I don't remember exactly how long, though. But yeah, so like it kind of came and went quickly, so it's not the worst thing to have to sit through.
There's a song farther into the album that I think would have been better, maybe a little bit farther up in the album. So maybe if Leg of Lamb and that one would switch, it would have made for a solid choice. But
well, when we get there, you'll have to let me know, so that way I can see if I can agree with you.
Oh, I will.
As someone who has listened to this album forever. Side note too, it sucks. I wish I don't have the shirt anymore. I used to have the shirt for this album, a completely blue shirt with the white stripe going across the chest with the Rated R logo right on the right side, or my left side here. I would have worn it for today, but yeah, I haven't had that shirt in years.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why I got rid of it. Maybe it tore or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I have a couple things like that where I'm like, where did that go? I really wish I still had that.
I used to have a 9 Inch Nail sweater that said Starfucker on it, and I have a feeling my mom got rid of it a long time ago.
Never put those things in the laundry.
She saw me wear it outside once, and she freaked out. This is when I was like a teenager. But yeah, she's like, no, you go home and change right now. I'm like, no. and then a week later, where's that sweater?
Oh, Lord. Mums, you know.
It sucks. I wore it to a concert, too. That is interesting. But no one cares at a concert. But anyways, next song. Autopilot. This one is one of the Nick Oliveri tracks.
Okay.
But very chill indeed. Like I really loved how kind of like low key this one was. And over top of the singing, which is Nick Oliveri singing, by the way. I just wanted to. That's why it doesn't sound like Josh at all.
Yeah.
His singing, he's not the best singer, but also I like the way it sounds in this song. Like his voice kind of matches the mood. And there's also Josh Homme's like kind of wailing, crying, guitarish type soloish. I shouldn't say guitarish, just guitar solo type thing going on over top of the vocals in the verses that I also just think adds to it. So I don't know. This one, it felt very bluesy. I really liked it.
Even with headphones, I felt like the vocals lived with the guitar, and I just wish that it was like a little bit above it, because I kind of had a hard time kind of focusing on one or the other because they felt like they were kind of competing. And I like the keyboard or like the keys in the intro.
Yeah, yeah.
That was different. So that was nice. I like that. And the kind of felt a little Bowie-esque. I don't know why. There's certain parts of it just kind of, I could imagine sort of, maybe it was the phrasing of certain words. I was like, I can hear this being like a David Bowie kind of feel. So,
well, he was a musical chameleon, so you could probably fit him in anywhere and he would somehow manage to fit.
Exactly.
You probably put him in death metal and he'd still find its way in.
And they would let him in too.
Oh, probably. It's like David Bowie wants to be on our track. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Didn't what's his name? Christopher Lee, I think his name was. Didn't he do like a death metal album not too like before he died? He had like that big like menacing hollow like voice. It wasn't like growling, but there was definitely like death metal behind him. It was pretty great.
I don't know who Christopher Lee is.
If I'm thinking of the right name, that's all. He was in Lord of the Rings as Saruman, I think, or Sauron or something like that. It's been a while since I watched Lord of the Rings. I don't know. You would know him if you saw him.
It's been forever since I've seen Lord of the Rings, like over 25 years.
I think I watched it like a decade ago.
I've never seen it.
That's actually the last time I ever did the trilogy too. But more about Autopilot, because there we go on tangents again. There's harmonies in the chorus, like while they're singing, like there's like the higher kind of like plain, just one note kind of harmony, but then like Nick is kind of like singing actual like melody. And I really like that. Like I think it's one of the high points of this song. Time flew by in this one, really all the way through. Like you don't even notice the song's 4 minutes, or at least I didn't.
Yeah. Just
because I was just kind of riding it as it was going. It was very smooth, very nice, like nothing abruptly to like pull you out of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you mentioned keys earlier, like another thing about like keyboards in this song is like, especially towards the end, although I think it's kind of like nearly in every chorus, but there's like an organ that you can hear.
Okay.
And I had to look up on the credits too. Yeah, it's like a B3 organ or something like that. But anyways, it's kind of lowly lying behind the background of like the choruses especially. And I never noticed it before, but I now realize like how nicely it sounds with the chorus and just makes it flow a lot smoother. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, like it's something I really appreciated, and even after like a million listens, I heard something new.
Yeah, see, that's nice. And like I said, I really want to listen to these sort of going from what you're saying, because you know it so well, or at least a lot better than I do, and then just listen to it again and just go, oh shit, I never thought of that, or I never heard that before. So it's always nice.
Yeah, and like I guess the difference between like I know I bring up all these things I recognize in albums that I like. The difference between this one and I guess Bungle, the last one I chose, was like I could have done lyrical breakdowns for this one because again, very familiar with the lyrics, but I actually actively chose not to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking you, the audience, do you like lyrical breakdowns? Would you like to see more of that kind of stuff? Because like sometimes I'm actually curious to do it, and there are actually episodes coming up on our schedule that I'm probably going to do it for.
Yeah.
But again, just curious to know what all of you think. Would you like to see more of that? Let us know in the comments.
And let us know soon, because there's one that I really want to do, and we're recording that soon. So soon, I want to make sure that I'm giving you what you want.
Can I guess it's the one in 2 weeks?
It is the one in 2 weeks.
Okay, well, people can't know about that one just yet, but I know exactly which one you're talking about. Okay, so the next song on the album, Better Living Through Chemistry. Go ahead.
I like it.
It's all yours this time.
I like it.
Yes. Good choice. Good choice.
I'm gonna be fairly honest with you here, and you can keep this in. I have a ring light, and every time I look at the camera and then I look down at my notes, all I see is this huge dark circle on my notes from staring at the ring light. So if I take a minute, it's because I can't read.
It's just trying to highlight your notes, circling the area you're supposed to be reading.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I was listening to this, and you know how just from your brain's sort of idea of how songs should go, it's like you're waiting for the drop where the music kind of kicks in. I was not disappointed because my brain's like, yeah, something's going to come in. And then it did. And my brain was like, oh yeah, that's the stuff that's what I'm looking for. And, okay. So I always listen to this with headphones just to kind of hear different things, left side, right side. I really liked how whatever piece was playing was starting to push to the left side as something new was coming in on the right side.
Are you talking about like towards the middle of the song, right?
Yeah, I
enjoyed
that. Yeah, and then you kind of get the.
I have a note about that.
you hear the ahs, like the vocal ahs, and then they're just coming in, and then the other stuff's fading out. I'm like, this is kind of nice. It's kind of like you're just watching something pass by you.
But those ahs stick around, so it's like the only thing that's like standing in like the image that's moving in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a note about that, and I'll get to it like when I get to that point, because I actually have quite a few notes about this song.
Yeah?
There's a lot to say. I mean, yes, I also really like this song. It's been one of my favorites on this album since I heard this album, period.
Oh, really?
It's been well over 10 years, probably even closer to 15, that I've been like really familiar with this album.
Interesting.
Everything about the opening is amazing. Like, for real, though, I believe it's bongos being played in the beginning that really open up the track. The reverb vibes, the vibes come back again. Again, it's the instrument, not the chill vibes. The bass line, like, the bass line's fantastic. I love how it just dances all over the neck. It's so great. Yeah. It all feels like you're flowing through a dream until the drums kick in. Especially with Josh's, like, really kind of reverb, echoey kind of vocals just kind of drifting in. It feels like a dream. Like it's such a unique feeling in the song. I'm so glad they found a way to fit it in.
Yeah.
The only real gripe I have with this song, like I have more notes, but like the gripe came in early, was Josh's hard left pan vocals in my headphones. Like if you're listening in headphones, like his voice is coming out of one muff and that's it. Mm-hmm. It had a creepy feeling, which I like, but at the same time, just hearing one thing so heavily emphasized in one of my headphones, it kind of like, I don't know, it physically pushes me like to the other side, you know, like.
Well, it's like somebody's like whispering in your ear and you're just leaning away from them. You're like, please stop.
Maybe that's why I'm not big on asthma.
Too much. Oh my God. No, I hate it.
Some people like it. Some people get sexual release from it. But meanwhile, I'm sitting here like, no, I'm good.
I'm like, please stop breathing in my ear. I hate that. Please stop. But yeah.
There's like, that really kind of like dreamy part broken up by the drums that kind of come in, kind of introduce you to what I think is a chorus. I'm not even certain if this has like a proper structure to it. Mm-hmm. But then immediately after that, around the 140 mark, I even wrote that time down, is when like you just hear this kind of extended droning and just like kind of guitar feedback kick in a little bit. And it's really tense. Because like after everything you heard, and it's just leaving you on this kind of like dark note a little bit and leaves you there for about, I'm going to say 10 to 20 seconds. I didn't really count. Mm-hmm. But then, oh my God, the jam session comes in, which is like 3 minutes, I'm guessing, because the song is nearly 6 minutes. And I have seen this song live as well. I've seen them live like 3 times. Yeah. That jam session goes on forever. It's fantastic.
As they should.
And it's perfect. The drumming in the jam session's excellent. Some of the best drumming work on the entire album, although there's like a lot of good points for drums on this album.
Yeah.
And there's just layers upon layers of sound coming through here, and as you mentioned earlier, like the movement of sound.
Yeah.
If you want to say anything now, go ahead, because I'm about to talk about the middle section a little bit.
I only had one more point that I found. There was like staggered vocal harmonizing where it wasn't the same. It was sort of like maybe on a little delay. And I really like that. It kind of added something that I've never really heard or noticed before. So I enjoyed that. And now the floor is all yours.
It's not going to be super long, but yes. So the jam session in the middle is amazing because it does a lot than just be a jam session. We already mentioned how like the sound literally moves from one earmuff to another, or like it starts in the middle, slowly starts to go from one. It leaves you with like only a couple of sounds, and then suddenly out of the other earmuff, like it comes back, fades in. It's so cool because if you close your eyes and visualize, like you can actually like see this happening in real time.
Yeah.
Because I wrote verbatim too. I love what feels like a carousel of sound as the jam session slowly fades out to just vibes and harmonized vocals, just for the jam to come back in shortly after. A really great dreamy / disorienting effect. This song uses left and right panning so well, it's a real treat to listen to. I wrote that. That's the longest note I've ever written. Like, without breaking. Well, I'm glad you agree then, because it is amazing.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's the first thing I noticed about it. I was like, this is different.
And from what I've picked up on you, like you like jam sessions, you like the jam bands and stuff like that. So even while I was listening to this, I'm like, she better rate this part high.
Yeah, guitar wankery, and some people define that as in like guitar parts that are completely unnecessary. But I just find it just sort of on your guitar for 10 minutes, and I'm into it.
It wasn't as wankery as when you use that term with Dream Theater back in episode 3. But
some of that is legitimate wankery.
Though. It is, yeah. John
Petrucci,
what his name is? Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, Josh likes to go on these like weird, like long solos. But it sounds great, fantastic. Everything about it fit. Yeah. And I just ended up with saying, what a great track. So much going on, but everything is used so well.
I like that being the last point. Yeah.
I don't like really plan out a script of things I want to say regarding this. It's just literally notes. But yeah, I felt like that was just the best way to sum up how I was feeling by the end of the song.
Yeah.
Again, 5 minutes, 49 seconds, but flew by because I love this song. So, I mean, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. I think you might put this in your top 5.
See where I wrote it down on paper. I also have it on the thing here. Where did I get it? Oh, okay, I see where it is. Poker Face, just so that way you can find out later. We'll move on to the next song though. Yeah. Monster in the Parasol. So this was a weird one to kind of transition to after such an incredible song. What do you got for this one?
So speaking about asthma, ASMR, and whispering, whispering during chorus is off-putting appropriately. Yeah. It feels like it should be, and that it's kind of creepy, but I just don't like whispering. Stop it. Personal preference, not knocking anyone who does. Again, with the, I don't know if it's minor notes or whatever, but it definitely sounded something like that in this song, where it seemed sort of, I don't know, kind of the feeling of confusion in some way. And at the beginning, I'm like, oh, this sounds like a nice driving song. And then as it goes on, I'm like, it's not. It's not the sunny day in a convertible like it felt like when it started.
Yeah, I think the verse is really tricked you into that one, because once it gets to the choruses, things get a little more zany, I guess. I actually have the word zany written down too. I don't often use that word. Yep. But yeah, like we're 6 songs in, we finally get like a straightforward like rock kind of punky type track, I guess, to an extent, because it's like simple, just one note downstroke on the guitar over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like this song's alright. Not my favorite on the album. And I believe this song is probably about a drug trip. It has to be.
Yeah.
Especially reading the lyrics, how like everything ends up being covered in hair. I mean, like.
Okay, I did not read
Paul's
the lyrics.
dad is warp and bubbling. Oh well. Paul's sister is an alien. Oh well. I've seen some things I thought I never saw covered in hair. I think it literally says, see some things I thought I never saw. Because it sounds like he does. I just haven't read that part, I guess. But anyways, then it says covered in hair. And he says covered in hair a lot.
Okay. I didn't pick up on any of that. This is another song I'm probably going to have to listen to with that in mind. And then think, wow.
Just read the lyrics as you're listening, too, so that way you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And maybe like, oh, that's why it's so weird and crazy towards the chorus.
Yeah, I understand the creepy vibe now. Jeez.
Because like then you have to ask yourself, what the hell does it mean to have a monster in my parasol?
So I imagine, because like parasol is like an umbrella, right?
Yes.
So I imagine opening umbrella and there's just bats hanging upside down in it.
I got the idea because like again the song's clearly about a drug trip, that like maybe there's designs on the parasol, someone opened it up and they just tripped out on the designs that they saw and thought it was like a monster.
Oh,
I
Rorschach test, but on it.
More or less, yeah. Like I could be 100% wrong. I didn't look up song meanings, so if anyone actually knows if Josh Homme said anything about this song, please let us know in the comments. I'd be curious to know more about it. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the verses. Like I like how straightforward it is. I'm not huge on the actual bridge between the verse and the chorus, but I do like the chorus itself. Because at the very least, that weird bridge, it does lead well into the chorus, and it, as I said before, sounds fairly zany.
Yeah,
I feel so weird using that word. Is that? I'm having another moment. Like, is that actually a word?
Well, as long as you don't start calling things groovy, saying zany's okay.
If we ever travel back that far on the show for like albums we review, I might have to use groovy.
Oh no!
I'll use truckin'. I'll use dynamite. I don't fucking know. I'll find like time appropriate words.
Well, this is not the time nor the place.
Fair. Yeah, this track is compared to some of the others. Pretty tame on the writing on this one. But considering what the album has given us so far, like I'm willing to give it a pass.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's fine. It's fun to have these like tracks that you don't intend to be on the A side, more or less. Kind of like Leg of Lamb, how I felt about that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't hate the song. Its placement on the album is fine. Just not super huge on it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I kind of placed it, sort of in the middle. It was just one of those. I think the album may suffer without it, but it also didn't, pump it up a lot. It was just sort of, it kind of feels like a necessity.
Just one of those songs to kind of fill times and gaps on, like, maybe you're contractually obligated. It's like, you need at least 11 songs. It's like, okay, well, here's this one then.
But it's definitely not one that I'd be like, get it out of there. This has no place here.
But speaking of songs that probably were just there to fill time and space. Number 7, Quick and to the Pointless.
Mm-hmm.
Another Nick Oliveri song, and I guess he just wanted an excuse to go absolutely nuts on this one.
This was one of my guesses. I was going to guess 2, but this number.
Oh, okay. What was the other one?
It's Coming Up.
That's probably the Mark Lanigan song then.
Probably.
Oh, wait, no, there's another one. Okay, there's 2 that have different vocalists. We'll see. But yeah, Quick and to the Pointless.
My first note says, I don't know what I'm doing here either. So I feel ya. It ended just before I was getting into it.
Really?
Like it felt like, it was kind of, it might do something, and then it ended. So, I mean, like, I wasn't looking at the time when I was listening to it. So that kind of sucked.
Yeah, under 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I knew that, but my sense of time is completely warped.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Do the Evolution by Pearl Jam.
Ooh.
Just sort of the, like, I don't know, the aggressive, take these words that I got from that.
Arguably Eddie Vedder's most, like, insane performance in a song.
Yeah.
Like, he's had some crazy ones, but Do the Evolution, I feel like he actually lost his mind recording it.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all.
I can't wait to do that one day.
Oh, yeah. I think it's the sort of the yelling or the borderline screaming.
Oh, he screams for sure. Are we talking about the song right now, Quick and the Pointless? Okay, good.
Yeah. Because I can never tell if it's just sort of aggressive yelling or if it's actual straight up screaming.
Yeah, sometimes he's just literally screeching. Like,
yeah,
he's kind of doing everything. He's yelling and screaming. Like, he's putting a lot of strain on his voice. So, like, again, just an excuse to go crazy. And I mean, like, I feel like because this song is under 2 minutes, I considered it like an interlude, even though it might not be. Mm-hmm. Like going into the next song, and it's a really weird choice to have this as an interlude going into the next song, which we'll get into in a minute.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's all I really have to say, because it's a very brief song. Like, it's in and out very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Likewise. I didn't mind it. It was all right. I do wish it was longer, but I think that would completely defeat the entire purpose.
That, and I don't know how much more of the song I could have stood if it went on longer.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like it did what it wanted to do in the time given.
Yeah.
So if you made this, like, even 3 minutes minimum, like...
Well, you'd have to change it. Like, you could not cruise on the same thing for 3 minutes.
Well, because, yeah, like, this song doesn't really offer much. Like, because of how fast it is, it doesn't have to. So if you were just to carry this exact same structure on for 3 minutes or something like that, it's just like, you didn't need this. You really didn't. Yeah. But... So I get, again, I'll give it points for how short it was and just going nuts with it. Other than that, came and went very quickly.
Did it go into in the fade? I'm trying here.
That is better than, I think it was the Tom Petty transition. Don't do me like that or something like that. I can't even remember, but I hated it. But this one, much better.
Thanks.
You get a B minus.
I tried much harder with the other one.
Wow, really? Well, you put a little more attitude in the previous one.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't have sold it so hard. If you did like that plain face, like Stephen Wright transition, I probably would have given you more points for that. But
all right, mental note.
Be more like Stephen Wright. Okay.
I was going to say mental note. Find out who Stephen Wright is.
Oh,
but I know.
He's one of the best ones. God, he's so fantastic. His plain... Anyways, no tangents about Stephen Wright.
Yep,
He's fantastic. Yep. We're going in the fade. Song number 8. My very first note. Oh, hey there, Mark Lanigan.
Oh, yeah?
Shout out to all the Screaming Tree fans out there. And he's been in other projects, too. I can't remember what. He has his own solo thing. But he's a constant and frequent Queens of the Stone Age collaborator. I don't know how much more these days, but, like, he was there for quite a few albums.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Do you know who the Screaming Trees are? I would assume you do.
I have heard of them for sure, but I don't know if I've heard anything. If I have, I didn't know it was them.
Ah, okay. Well, Mark Lanigan has a very distinct voice. He's like a slightly cleaner Tom Waits.
Okay.
Still low and kind of raspy, but not like Tom Waits raspy.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a difference, and one's grunge too. So.
Interesting.
But anyways, like in the fade. Another really cool kind of chill track, not as chill as Autopilot because like it does get a little heavier at points. There are so many different like guitar riffs going through the song, and I love every single one of them. They carry the track so nicely. It's a really cool feeling. And also that bass line in the verse again, Nick Oliveri, like as shitty of a person as you may potentially be, my God, like you really have fun on that bass guitar.
I have bass and egg shaker. It's a nice addition.
Oh yeah,
I like that. Yeah,
all the extra percussion that like is pretty much in every song.
Yeah,
but this is like one of the good ones.
And it sounded like maybe it was like a keyboard on a delay. I picked up on something that just I really, really do wish I was a professional. I almost said magician. Professional magician.
That's cool too.
I wish I was a professional musician because then I'd be able to appropriately articulate some of the things that I do here. But it kind of sounded like it was like a keyboard attached to like a delay pedal or something.
You mean the riff is like din 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 din?
Maybe because like I'm hearing it, but I'm hearing the next note before the previous one ended, and it just kind of felt weird. But I don't think I've ever heard this or really noticed it before, so that was kind of cool. It was like a new discovery for me.
If we're talking about the same sound, I don't know if that was like an electric piano that like with reverb and distortion on it, or if it was actually just a guitar itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, either way, like I did like that too. It's just kind of one of those like many riffs kind of going through the verse that I really, really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. And like the chorus feels obviously very stronger. It gets like a little heavier. There's a lot going on. It feels like a very like a stoner rock and garage rock kind of sound. as compared to like the other parts of the song itself. I don't mind that at all because everything blends together like really nicely. Again, I don't really have like a whole lot of complaint about this track. Even Mark Lanigan's like kind of deeper vocals and everything kind of going through the song feels really nice.
Yeah. I just got it. It's very simple, but it's pleasing. Like, I liked it.
Yeah, again, I don't think this one was long either. I don't remember the time of this one. I had it on my phone in front of me, but I don't want to turn on the screen. I have to like go password unlock it now and shit.
Yeah.
I should probably write down like the song lengths with the names on my sheet here.
Oh, don't worry. I got you. I'll figure it out. It is 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Decent. A little more than radio length, but decent. I honestly wouldn't mind if this song kept going, if it kept up with the same like atmosphere of the intro and the verse, because those are probably my favorite parts of the song. Like the chorus was great too, but like the verse is just otherworldly, especially with Josh Homme's, again, his falsetto harmony in the background of Mark's like really low voice.
Yeah.
I really loved the way that was flowing through. Just this song feels good.
Nice. I like it.
As do I.
It definitely didn't give me tension head. That one was first.
Now you're purposely trying like just really go. You know what? I'm gonna keep making sure that you transition to every single song now. You've just put this on your own shoulders.
Crap.
Yep. So yeah, Tension Head, another one of those Nick Oliveri songs, another crazy one. Very like punky sounding track, like very punky. This one's better though than Quick and to the Pointless in my opinion.
Yeah.
I guess this song was just meant to blast you with like intensity before slowing things down again. I don't know. Again, I don't want to call it an interlude, but because it's so kind of short, it feels like that. I don't know.
I don't know if I like its place on the record, because this is the one that I was like, I don't know. It's just it seems more of a earlier to mid album track rather than a little later. I don't know if I'm just sort of, cramming every song into the box of, you kind of resolution come down at the end of the album, because this seemed very in your face.
Yeah.
So I'd like it a little earlier in the record. And I have a point, because I didn't know this listening to it. I'm like, who is singing these? I'm like, I have no idea who this is, but it was nice having different, different voices on different tracks. So I like that.
Yeah, this was a Nick Oliveri track. Last one, Mark Lanigan. Nick Oliveri was on another song on the album, Quick and to the Pointless.
Yeah.
And Autopilot as well. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's interesting, although, like, I really like Josh Homme's voice, so, like, I don't care if he sings an entire album. It's fine by me.
Yeah.
He might be kind of a dick in real life, but he's got a great voice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about this one. It was just kind of there for me. Maybe I hadn't come down from Quick and to the Pointless yet, which was only 2 tracks ago.
Yeah.
So having another quick, punky, sort of in-your-face track I wasn't ready for it yet. So.
Well, that makes me wonder if switching with Leg of Lamb would be a good idea, considering, like, getting hit with a song that heavy and crazy before a song like Better Living Through Chemistry comes on. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I kind of like that the heavier songs were kind of like past the halfway point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not huge on the song, but it's there.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I don't really have much notes, or many notes about it, rather.
Me neither. So I guess we should transition into the next song.
The next song is Lightning Song.
A+.
Thank you.
You're really trying now.
I am.
All right, so obviously this song is quite literally an interlude. It's short. It's an instrumental, the only instrumental on the album. So it leads you to something incredibly heavy, like Tension Head. I almost said Quick and to the Pointless. I had to look at my notes real quick. It leads you from something incredibly heavy like Tension Head into the next song, which we'll get into momentarily. Which I fucking love that song. But yes, Lightning Song, very like acoustic, kind of like open studio type recording. It's like a very broken down style of like recording. You got like all the additional percussion in there. I don't know what it is. Maybe a tabla, maybe not. I don't know. Or it's like a big popping kind of percussion instrument. I can't remember what it's called. Okay. There's that, which was an excellent addition. There's a 12-string acoustic with the pianos as well. Were really nice. Actually, the piano was really nice because Josh Homme plays it in the song, I believe. And it's like a very nice call and answer because you have the main riff like, and then the piano follows up like in a higher octave. So I thought like the call and answer to that was a really nice touch. It's just, this is a nice relaxing song.
It sounds like a less pretentious tea party song. And the juxtaposition to Tension Head was nice. From what I felt, sort of another punchy in the gut song to, you have died and you are ascending to heaven. That's this song.
Yeah, essentially. I guess with some of the crazier points of this album, like this is like the nice landing point.
Yeah.
Because like, and like this is like the penultimate song. So I mean, like coming up next, like there's a lot to kind of break down in the next one, but like Lightning Song is just like, here I go with this term again, the breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I liked it. It was nice, and if they added any vocals to it, I think it would have done it a disservice.
Yeah, I don't know what they could have done with this one, but just because like the structuring of it was just like fine the way it was.
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm wondering how late into the recording process or like the writing process this song came up, because I wonder what the album looked like before this was introduced.
Oh.
Because I wonder if they were looking at it's like, no, we need something to slow down with. We need something to just like relax with. I don't know anything about the writing process, but I imagine it was probably something like that. Because you can like as a band look at your record and be like, it looks pretty good, but it's missing something. Like we need a settling point.
Yeah, it's like adding some salt to something. You're just like, it tastes good, but you could just amp it up just a little bit.
This is kind of like leaving someone's house. The song is leaving someone's house after like a day of hanging out with them or a party or something like that. And the song is like, making sure you gather everything you have before you walk out the door.
Yep.
All right, so now I'm leaving on you to transition to the next song. Give me something clever.
Well, I can't think of anything clever without spoiling my thoughts about it. Okay. So, I mean, if that's okay, then I will. I think I lost my headache. But wait, no. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Restart. You think you lost your headache? I think I found mine.
And I think you're talking about like the ending of the song. Ending of the song, quotations. So yeah, I think I lost my headache, the 11th and final track on Rated R. There is so much I love about this song. I'll get to the ending in a bit, and I'm pretty sure you'll get there before I will.
Quite possibly.
It's something that could have very well like brought the score down, I guess. Not for me though. Overall, I really like the song. The opening to this song is amazing. The guitar riff is absolutely everything I needed in this album. Yeah. There's something about like just the opening that just carries you through, and then the lap steel guitar kicks in, and then just like the burst of distorted guitar into the verse is like amazing. Just like, and the verses and choruses are just written so well. They sound fantastic. I could just like gush forever about it.
Now, is it just me again, and am I hard of hearing, or are the vocals under the guitar again, where the guitar is just a little louder than the vocals?
I think they're fairly close to an equal if the vocals aren't a little louder.
Yeah.
Because the guitars are like pretty pronounced in throughout the entire song, mainly the verses. Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know, I never really found an issue with the vocals being a little too quiet or something like that. Like it felt fitting to me, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. I found that I just couldn't really. I guess I couldn't really place the vocals above the guitar. It was just the guitar is just assaulting my eardrums the whole time. Like not necessarily in a bad way, just assaulting nonetheless.
Is it potentially like the wailing kind of like lap steel guitar through the verse?
Quite possibly. It was definitely one of those move the ear set off my ear
Yeah.
for a second. So.
Because other than that, it's just like the really crunchy, distorted riffs, like just like the power chords being played.
Yeah.
But then yeah, there's like a slide guitar just kind of wailing in the background. It kind of sounds like a cat.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm like, please no more.
Because you're just like, Kitty? You're like, making sure it's not yours.
Oh God. I did enjoy, and I wrote down 3 minutes, 30 seconds in, roughly around that point. It started to sound like a waltz on a broken leg.
I actually literally wrote something with 3:30 as the track marker as well. So just before I get there then, because we'll get to that ending and you can say what you really don't like about it. But so just as the verses as they're going through, it's like a quick breakdown of the verse that kind of it breaks very quickly to go into the chorus. But it sounds really great because of how quick it is and because of how the chorus is. It sounds... I'm trying to think of like new words. I need an encyclopedia. I'm just going to say wonderful because the chorus is like this really kind of woozy sounding type riff. Like it's like these constant like descending melodies. Mm-hmm. And then with the vocals going ooh, like over in the background over top of the vocals. Mm-hmm. The chorus is, the way it sounds with the verse breaking down sounds so good and just like, I don't know, it's the perfect rock track. I love it so much.
Yep. I'm like, I don't know. I don't hate it.
I'm just trying to speak nicely. But yeah, I'm trying to speak nicely before you get to that ending, which we're probably gonna have similar notes on.
Like, I don't know. It was awesome. And then, okay, so I remember the, I guess, trend of every time there's horns, I'm like, oh, yay, horns. So,
I noted that.
So it comes in, and I'm like, where did these horns come from? Because maybe they were earlier in the album, didn't hear them. So I'm like, where did these come from? And I'm like, cool, horns. Okay.
Horns.
There's more. Oh, there's just horns. I don't think I enjoy just horns. I like it as an accompaniment. It's like, I want to squeeze lemon on things. I want lemon water. Delicious. If I just ate a lemon, I'm like, I don't want this.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I felt. I kind of felt like I was eating a lemon. And I did not enjoy eating a lemon.
Yeah, I guess I can get that because, as I said, one of my notes, like this song would be perfect as just being 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah. Although I do like the extended guitar outro and how it gets like faster, as if it's kind of like building up to a crash.
Yeah.
But then, instead of just crashing, that's when the horns show up and say hello for like 4 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, that's too long.
I don't hate how the ending carries on, like especially into the horn section. Like it can get pretty crazy, especially with that like wailing trumpet that just goes and goes.
That's a headphones off the ear going, okay, it's a little deafening now. Yeah, maybe that's why it's songs for the deaf. Everyone who bought their previous album is deaf now.
Maybe. Like I'll say about the horns, like they go on like it feels like it goes on way too long. Like it didn't have to. Mm-hmm. But also maybe that's part of the joke of the track, the title itself. I think I lost my headache, and then there's this part where the trumpets are wailing, the saxophone eventually kicks in. Maybe they just trolled you really hard.
Oh, and I fell for it because I definitely found my headache after that. I was like, you lost it. I'll take it. Thank you.
Although I will say, like, the horns kind of eventually break into like their own little harmonies and everything as the further you get into it. Yeah. So actually, I really like that. I thought that sounded cool. It's like, if it wasn't for the trumpet and then the eventual saxophone that does the same thing, I actually probably would have really liked it. But like, that part was like a little iffy to me, but like, I won't spoil anything in my rankings, but I didn't let it affect my song score. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to take the first 3.5 minutes and I'm going to say this was the song I loved and I'm going to give it the score I'm going to give it. And this is how I'm going to present it. Like the horn section, for all I know, it's a whole other song, but it just, I don't hate it, but just, the trumpet really grates after a while.
It was okay.
That's how you started the album. That's how you finished the album.
Like a sandwich. The bread was okay.
Oh, we're not doing the Dream Theater again, moldy top, golden bottom. We're not doing that again.
No, hell no.
Before we even start, though, I can say it every week, 2. 2 is my pick that we'll match with.
Yeah? I'm gonna one up you, and I'm gonna say 3 because I'm feeling in an optimistic mood.
Although, like, we're crazy because every week we say numbers, it's always 1 now. Like, it's been 1 for like the last 5 or 6 episodes.
Well, I know our number 1 and number 11 will not match. Just from the information given, I'm really getting that.
Potentially, yeah.
Well, let's find out.
We'll find out in just a minute because I want to let all of you know that if you've made it this far, you clearly like what we're doing, and we're about to get into those glorious song rankings and, of course, that album rating that you've all been waiting for. But before you do, you like what we're doing, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Let us know how much you really, truly do like what we're doing. And also, like, let us know if you agree or disagree with how we feel about certain songs, certain parts, and whatever you want to tell us about Queens of the Stone Age. And yes, we'll eventually do another album. Don't worry about that.
And if you listened this far in the comments, just post a crown for Queens. I want to know. I'm a little curious.
The funny part is, if anyone does that, we would forget that we even said something like that. It's like, I think there was like one episode when we told people to do like foot emojis or something like that. And
yeah.
I don't even remember that anymore. So it's
and then you see it and you're like, what the hell are they doing?
And it's like, there's got to be a joke in there somewhere. What the hell were we talking about? All right, and also the audio listeners out there too. Like, follow, subscribe, rate, comment, do whatever you'd like to help us build this channel because you're still here. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, we love you.
And I won't even waste time. Boom, graphics above our head have just changed. That means we're into the song rankings now of this particular album, Rated R. So I guess I'll get it started as I usually do. And yes, I guess we're not going to match on this one. Number 11, Quick and to the Pointless.
Feel good hit of the summer.
Damn, really? Mm-hmm. I knew that you wouldn't rate that one highly, but I didn't think it'd be the last.
I probably won't listen to it again, in all honesty.
Fun fact, in Songs for the Deaf, I believe it's after the very last song, which is a hidden track called the Mosquito Song. They kind of reprise Feel Good Hit of the Summer again, but it's just like a bass line, a drum, and then people just laughing, ha 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 ha! It's goofy as shit, but it's funny. Anyways.
Interesting.
Song 10, Leg of Lamb.
I think I lost my headache.
No.
So you said that you didn't let it affect your ranking? I did.
Just take the first 3.5 minutes. Fuck the horns.
I did.
Number 9, Monsters in the Parasol.
Yeah, it's cool. A match.
Okay, there's the one and only. Even though I said 2, that's the one and only. Woo-hoo. Excellent. Okay, number 8, Tension Head.
It's a match.
Really?
Straight up. I will show you on my paper if you want.
We gotta do. I believe you because, like, geez, we need more matches. We got a deuce here. Now we need a truce. The triplet, the lightning song.
Quick and to the pointless.
Okay, that's fine. I
don't know why I had my fingers crossed. You had already said that song.
You're like. I'm just seeing how we could still match on a few here. Okay. We can match on this one, Autopilot.
Yep.
Oh my God! It's
100%.
Is today that we need? Okay, so Daughters was 10 songs, I think, or 9 or 10 songs.
I think
that was 3. So we need. It's tied, even though Daughters still in the lead. We need one more to break the record finally.
And after all of this, because I don't want to spoil the rest of my list, I will show you my list on camera. So everyone watching, I just want to show for everyone watching that I'm a genius by saying 3. So,
but if we get 4, then you're fucked.
Yep.
All right, well, my 5 is Feel Good Hit of the Summer. That one's fine.
In the Fade.
Fade, okay. My number 4 is In the Fade. Uh-oh, it's happening again.
Lightning Song.
Okay, that's fine. As I said that one a little while ago. Number 3, The Lost Art of Keeping a Secret.
Leg of Lamb.
Really?
Wah, wah.
That song was just, it's so drab and weird. Okay. This is the last one we could possibly match on now. And I'll know depending on your answer. So my number 2 is I Think I Lost My Headache.
Better Living Through Chemistry.
Huh.
I picked the single again.
So I picked Better Living Through
knowing.
Chemistry for mine, and you picked what again?
For number 2?
Yes. So for number 2, you got
Better Living Through Chemistry.
And so my number one's Better Living Through Chemistry, and your number 1 is
The Lost Art of Keeping a Secret.
Close. But 3 is the most we've had in a long time. It feels like forever.
I am a genius.
Yeah, you got that one, didn't you?
Hell yeah.
Golf clap.
All right. Anyone who wants to pause that, there you are.
I believed you. I'm pretty sure they did too.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if you were like sabotaging the podcast.
To be fair, though, I haven't really accumulated enough credibility for anyone to believe me. So I kind of gotta push it every week where it's like, see, look, the light above my head, halo.
Maybe it's a new beginning for you. You live in a new location, new beginning, new everything.
New year, new me. I just 11 months late. Yeah, I never said I was quick. It's fine.
In 2022, you're gonna say like, "Oh, we're gonna get 8 correct," and I'm like, "You're fucked if you think that." Then we get 8 correct. I'm like, "Wow, maybe I should listen to you more."
Whoa. What is this, the Upside Down? Come on, that'll never happen.
Yeah, I think it's just put into the fucking Twilight Zone. Alrighty, that's our song rankings. Wow, 3 matches out of 11.
Yes.
Still not the greatest, but not the worst. I mean, three seems to be our highest peak. Mm-hmm. Daughters still being in the lead technically by ratio of song matches.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be another one. But now, I really have to super duper transition screens because we're going to rate the record. So editor me, if you would, whoosh. Here it is, the album rating screen. And also, if I did things correctly in Zoom, you could probably see us up in the top right corner of the screen, maybe. If not, then you can't see me waving right now. How many fingers am I holding up? You can tell me in the comments. But yes, we have talked about Queens of the Stone Age, Rated R. We've ranked all the songs. And now we're gonna rate the record because that's our specialty. Main course.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so now we need to know each other's score, which we do not know currently. So, Savannah, you have to go first this week.
Do I?
I went first last week.
Don't do this to me.
Hell yeah.
Please.
I'm ready.
63%. 63.64.
6-4. Wow.
Yeah, but that's why I sunk down in my chair, okay?
I didn't anticipate it being that low for you. Actually, I thought you would have had this in at least somewhere in like the low 70s.
Okay, well, I don't. So I don't know what else to tell you.
I'm so sorry that you're hard to please, princess. Jesus.
You said you're the villain? Look at me. Look at me.
I'm the villain, you're the asshole. There's a difference.
Broken ears, apparently. I don't know.
I'm the one who turns the crowds against you, and then you're the ones who make them continue to hate you. Mine, on the other hand, worry not, Queens of the Stone Age fans. I was very generous with it. I don't even consider it generous because I just enjoyed this album altogether. I gave this a straight, even 80%. I A-tiered this, and congratulations, you added yet another C-tier album to like your absolute line of C-tier albums.
I like skyscrapers, so when you place that, just place it sideways so it just goes straight up.
You don't want to see a side scraper on its side. That's not exactly skyscraping at that point. You're scraping the lawns of like everyone 20 miles away.
No, I mean when you do the tier list of all of my shitty choices, just make sure it's a tier list where all of the S, A, B is on the x-axis. So then it just shoots straight up C, because I imagine none of my choices are in any other category.
Well then.
Except Weezer.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other thing, isn't it? Way down there in the D tier. But this one, on the other hand, managed to end up probably where I expected it to anyway. So with a 71.82%, it falls into the B tier. Yet another B tier album that we have here. I can't remember the score of the Chili Peppers, so I'll adjust this correctly as needed when I'm actually saving this file.
Yeah. But
yes, for now, Queen of the Stone Age, right there, boom, in the B tier next to the Chili Peppers. I'm pretty sure it's probably ranked higher than just Chili Peppers if I remember correctly, but I'll, again, check later.
I hope so.
And by the way, to anyone who is curious to see like what this looks like and our own individual tier ranking charts on Instagram, if you have that and you follow us over there at Rate the Record Podcast, I did make a post on Instagram that shows all 3 charts up to episode 10 though. So you can see exactly where our own individual rankings fall, and you can see Savannah's absolutely stacked C tier rankings.
I'm hard to please, apparently.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Whereas me, on the other hand, I have at least one album in every single tier.
That's all I have to say.
Well, there you have it. Once again, Savannah is wrong and I am right because I rated it higher, but it still ended up as a B- tier album, I guess. I don't like saying that out loud.
I'm just pursing my lips and shaking my head.
At yourself. I hope you're looking in the mirror while you're doing that. Or looking at yourself on the Zoom screen and doing that.
I am, because I'm looking pretty fly today. But not for that reason. No.
So 71.82%. I'm just writing that down so I can make the Instagram post for later.
Woo.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, again, very... That one's got close to being one of the most divisive ones we have. I think Chili Peppers was still maybe...
Probably.
I can't remember. One of them is the most divisive. I can't remember which one, but this one was close.
Yeah.
Which is shocking to me. Actually, this is the biggest shock so far in the entire show.
Well, honestly, this is my first, I guess, prolonged exposure to Queens of the Stone Age, because you'd hear a song on the radio or see a song on TV, their music video, one-offs. This is the first time I've actually heard them. Nothing that's been presented to me as a single. So, like the disclaimer of a lot of other albums, I'm sure it'll grow on me. I just have to give it a chance. And whether I do or not, that's what really makes me a dickhead. So.
And if anyone wants to pick on Savannah for her album rating, I know at the beginning we say with a grain of salt, but with hers it's a grain of rock salt, so it's a little bigger. Go ahead, go for it. I encourage it.
Please don't knock me out with this rock of salt.
Oh, man. But yeah, it's okay. Maybe one day when we do Songs for the Deaf, things will change and you'll really like that one. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I think you will, though, because like a lot of people tend to say that's their favorite Queens of the Stone Age album. Like when they rank them, like that one's usually like top tier.
I'm open to it for sure. Like it wasn't that bad. So.
One of these days, we'll get around to it.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we are at the end of another episode. You know how we rank the songs. You know where we rated the records. And now we want to hear about your choices when it comes to this album. Did you like it? Did you hate it? How do you feel about Queens of the Stone Age? Let us know. So right here on YouTube, like, subscribe, and also the comments again to let us know exactly how you felt. And in the audio realm, there's probably somewhere to comment, I think, in most of them. So go ahead and leave comments, or you can email us at ratetherecordpodcast@gmail.com. No, it's just ratetherecord@gmail.com.
Yes.
All right, because I'm not really good with this branding stuff anymore. But yeah, you can also let us know on social media at Rate the Record Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or just at Rate the Record on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Let us know your thoughts on the album, because I'd be curious, because as a Queens of the Stone Age fan, I always like when people gush about things I like, because I'm cocky like that.
And if you've never listened to it, listen to it and agree with me.
You're telling people they hate the album? You can't do that.
No, I just want them to agree with me, whether it's hate, love, indifference. Just tell me I'm right and that you're not. And that's really all I ask.
Maybe, just maybe, that they'll agree with you on certain songs, but albums, I think people will pick up on this one.
Well, let's see. Let's see. Let us know.
Do all that for the audio, the video, all the social medias, and again, with your albums, with the email, you can let us know about the albums. If you have any requests, you can also let us know too. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I was looking at my phone while I said that, but I have the calculator up and I'm just staring at the numbers thinking that was the camera. My mind's already melting right now. It's a good thing that we're at the end of the episode.
Yes.
But before we let you go, we, of course, have another episode coming up next week. Why wouldn't we? So next week, special occasion album. It's an anniversary, like we said we do every once in a while with these types of things. The band that we're choosing is a trio, and their breakthrough album is turning 35 years old. Ooh. I can't remember the exact date, but we'll let you know when the episode actually comes out next week. They started as a punk band, but found huge success in rapping. I'm pretty sure I just gave it away, but There you go. And you can just look at albums turning 35. I think you'll get the point.
Is it salt and pepper?
I would love to do that on the show one day, but no, it's not.
Oh, okay. Figured it might be.
I would do Salt and Pepper on the show. I can't remember what the one album's called, but I really, really like it.
Cool. I'm down.
None of your business. Yeah, I grew up on that track. That's awesome.
Cool.
But yeah, so there's your little wink nudge about next week. I'm pretty sure you already know. If you don't, it's going to be a good one, so you want to tune in for that.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us. We will see you again next week. In the meantime, go ahead and go listen to some awesome music, and we will see you again soon. So take care, friends.
Bye-bye.